All right, how you doing? This is my application, my video application for Bitchin Bootcamp. So let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna try and do it in one take. All right, I got my little cheat sheet here. These are the questions they want answered. So let's see if I can do it. Questions: introduce yourself, name, age, and how long you've been into auto. How long you've been an auto expert? Shit, I'm not even a reading expert. My name's Bob Stormer. I'm 55 years old. I'm from Glasgow, Montana, the actual middle of nowhere. The Washington Post did an article on us. Did a bunch of math. I don't think it was them. I think it was somebody who wrote the article. Found out that we are the actual middle of nowhere. So now, when you say, I know a guy from the actual middle of nowhere, you got a guy. I'm that guy from the middle of nowhere, and I think I can do it for you. Why are you qualified to work at Kindig-It Design in any capacity? Why am I qualified? I don't know why I'm qualified. I think I'm pretty good at what I do. You know, fabrication is all about invention, design, and problem solving. And there's only so many things you can do with metal, right? You can cut, weld, grind, shrink, stretch, bend. Those are the 6, in my view, things that you can do to metal. So in and amongst those things, you've got to figure out how to solve everything that happens, right? Whether you're making chassis mounts or whether you're making body mounts, if you're trying to weld some stainless for an exhaust pipe, you got to figure that out. And I think I'm pretty good at that stuff. I don't know why I'm good at it, but I like it. I like the challenge of it, and I like that moment when you get to sit back and go, pop them suspenders out and go, boys, I have nailed this to the roof. You are welcome. Boom, drop the grinder and out you go. Well, maybe don't drop the grinder, but you know what I'm trying to say. And I think part of being a good fabricator is knowing when to get into something and when to get out of something. We've been racing cars, like full-size cars and small cars and RC stuff for 40 years. And the last time we built full-size road race cars, we did a bunch of engine swap stuff, fuel injection, ECM, ECU stuff, and it got to be real complicated. And I'm like, if we wad this car, the amount of fabrication it's going to take to put this back to where it was is going to be huge. So we started making jigs. And I'll bring the camera down here to show you stuff. Like this is a jig. I'm hoping not too wiggly here. This is a jig to make a motor mount, right? I made the jig, and you bring this down, weld a plate, put that on the chassis, bring this down, weld some more plates on there, and you're done. And the same with this. This is what the motor mount looks like, right? Whoop, am I even on it? So that's what the motor mount looks like, right? And it's the same. It's all fabricated. So if I need to make a motor mount again, I pop it on the jig, and I make a motor mount. How great is that? Pop that on. I do a bunch of that kind of stuff. And occasionally I get the opportunity to do crazy stuff. Like I like making little things. Like you can't always make big projects, right? Sometimes you're making little stuff. Like look at this little guy. Tell me how cool that is. You know what? I'm gonna flip the camera around. Let me see if I can do that. Can I do that from here? No, doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna do it this other way. Check that out. Can you see it? Oh yeah. I gotta back way up. Look at that. I mean, how fun is that? So I make little things. That's a little naturally aspirated motor and a couple of rods. This dude here, you can appreciate this. I've actually sent him around to some juried art shows, this wheelchair alien dude. Check him out. There are 90 hand-cut pieces on here. This is all TIG welded. There's no MIG with the exception of these little cheek pockets right here. So this is all TIG. And you know what that means? It means that none of this is put together with magnets, which is incredibly hard to do when you're trying to jig stuff. So I'm having to precariously balance all this stuff to put the wheels on. And this took 100 hours to build. I'm not even kidding you. And I made a supercharged one. Check that dude out. I don't know, these may or may not be at focus, because I'm kind of winging it here. I just love making stuff like this, because not everybody's going to have time for a big project, right? So this is what you do when you don't have a big project. So I got those knocked out. Let me put the camera back over here. Did it work? I'm still on. All right, let's see, what do we got here? Question number 2. Why should we hire you? Why should you hire me? You know, that's a solid question with a complicated answer. You know, you look around and I don't know if I have what it takes to work there or not. That's the beauty of it, nor does anybody else. I went to the Kindig website and I was kind of looking at the bios to get a feel for who's working there and what it takes. I mean, that seemed reasonable to me. And if you start looking, everybody there has been working there from 5 to 15 years, and it almost looks like Will's the old dude in the group as far as working there the longest. I'm not saying Will's old. I'm just saying it looks like he's been there 15, 16 years. And that's pretty impressive. So that means that anybody that's working there is good at it, right? So all these amateur guys like myself, do we have what it takes to work there? I don't know. but I'm fascinated by the idea and I'm fascinated by the opportunity. So that's why I'm here. Can I up my game? Is my game solid enough? Can I invent and design and fabricate at a level that's at least as good as what you guys are doing? And maybe my invention is better. You know, who's to say? You know, I can stack dimes like the rest of them, but can I do it in that kind of a setting? You know, with you guys as good as you are? I don't know. That fascinates me. So why should you hire me? You know, I don't know. I just think I'm really good at it. I think I could do it. I think I just kill at it. Or get killed at it. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Who knows? We don't know what the job is. I could go in there the first day and get crushed. You're going, how did you not know how to do this? And I'm like, it didn't say paint and body. That's not my strongest part. You know, I'm a welder, man. I bend, cut, and grind, shrink, and stretch, and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what that was. Let's see. What's this question? I got another question. I'm still trying to go with one take here, so bear with me. Tell us what your dream car is. And, oh man, that's complicated. I don't have a dream car. I'm sure it's the same for you guys too. You know, my dream car is the next car. The dream project is the next project because you get to invent and design and build with your bare hands. You're taking fire and you're making steel burn and bend and flex to your will. And that is awesome. And I can never wait to just do it. That's why I build these little guys that I build on occasion because I don't have anything big to work on. We're amateur dudes, man. We can't be knocking out $150,000, $200,000 builds week after week. I don't have any customers. I've never done this for anybody else. I do this for my own fun. I've never been paid for it. In fact, that people get paid for this blows my mind. Blows my mind. I'm like, you get paid to have this much fun? Blows my mind. Awesome. I think that's the coolest thing ever. Anyway, back to the dream car thing. If I did have to pick something, I got this idea that in the back of my mind, I could turn a Honda CRX into an LMP1 car. That's a Le Mans prototype. You may have to look those up just to see what I'm talking about. But that is a very unlikely setup. But I think I can do it. I've been thinking about it for years, and I've got some ideas on how to go about it, including how to center the driver. And there's a lot of things going to have to be moved. All the steering column stuff, the motor mounts, you know, how to slam the body down over the tires and get the aero shape. But I'll show you a car here in a second. And it was the precursor to this thought process where I wanted to learn how to make the rear end to look like an LMP1 car. I'll show you that car in a second here. Let me get through the rest of these questions. We'll do a quick shop walk around. What are we doing here, boys? We're coming up on this time limit. I wanted to do this in 5 minutes, and I can't. It's just so much fun. How would you describe your personality? All right, next. Message to Dave and Kev about why they should hire you. I got this. I'm not going to give you a message on why you should hire me. Dude, I'm going straight to your hearts. Check this out. Buddy, Kev Dog, I got your back. Treats, my friend. I have got a big bag of treats with Kev Dog's name on it. Who's thinking ahead? This guy. Who's got 2 thumbs and thought of Kev Dog? This guy. And, and I had a question for Will, too. Will, if you can get that guy in the office. I read his bio, and I thought this was fascinating. There was something in there that caught my eye. And if you get Will over there, here's what I want to see if he knows what this is. All right, I'm just going to move over here. Boom! Will, do you know what this is? I got a buck says that you know what this is. It's a gold anodized chassis and a 6-gear transmission with a differential. Very unique for the time. This came out in 1984. This is a car I restored. If you know what it is, Will, leave a comment down below or get a hold of me just to say, hey, man, I knew what that was. I got a buck that says you do, so I'm counting on you. So we got that. I just want to get that out of the way. Also, more treats. Kev Dog, I'm feeling you, man. I got more treats for you. And then I thought, too, what can I do for Dave? You know, I can't leave Dave out of the equation. So, buddy, I got your back, man. Check this out. Bam! These are the actual Happy Gilmore golf clubs. This dude right here, 450 yards off the tee box. Buddy, I'm going to take your game to the next level. This is fabrication at its highest. This alone, this one club, 450 yards. And I'm not talking from the women's tees. I'm talking way back where the men are, big fella. You come in here, bam, you're knocking this baby out of the park, and I'm going to throw in the bag. I'm going to throw in the irons. 450 yards, maybe 500. I'm not going to say. You could be knocking 500 yards with that. Careful. Those are valuable. I didn't find those at a garage sale. And then, one more thing. In addition to Kev Dog's treats, even more treats. These are the good ones, my friend. Even more treats. So let me grab the camera here before we run out of time. And I just want to show you something. Let me flip this around. Oh, I can't. I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm stuck right here. All right, so let's look at this. All I wanted to really show you about this car we built, I don't know how to use the camera. Here it goes. Come here. What grill shell do you think that is? What is that? You guys recognize that? You know what that's off of? I made that. These are the door tops from an '06 Silverado. See that? Can you kind of see it now? And that's what I think I bring to the games. Invention, creativity, passion, all those cool things where you're looking at something, you're going, how did this guy do that? And you're like, I know, he's Stormer, man. That guy can do anything. So here, here we're getting to the back of the car. Disregard this garbage. My kids brought that crap in here, and I'm trying to clean it out of here. The rest of the shop, it's pretty tidy. All right, so we get back to the back of the truck here. Look at this. I got this whole, that works on struts. This is 150-year-old barn wood. How cool is that? These nails, can you kind of see those? Check that out. 150 years old, so I left them in there. I know eventually I'm gonna catch myself on there. But this whole suspension back here, I designed this entire chassis, right? Everything you see. This used to come back here, and then we put the taillights in it, and that's part of fabrication. You gotta find the problems, fix the problems that you create for yourself by changing things up, right? So I put those taillights in, and now the frame is too long, right? So we trimmed her off right in here, and we moved this over, and these are the pieces that are left over, because now the battery didn't fit, right? So we had to move the battery back to here. But everything's back here, and this is a gas tank off a Skidoo snowmobile. I mean, how cool is that? A Skidoo snowmobile. And this whole thing closes thusly. Can we get back here? Done. How cool is that? We'll walk over here for a second. We've been doing a little bit of road racing, and this is the road race car. Well, it's one of the two. And I just think it's cool. I like this kind of fabrication. I like something that you can build, that you can also race. I mean, that kind of stuff fascinates me to tears. And then we come back here, and we're working back here. I got to get there's the wing on the roof there. And I want to get something going back here. So my son printed these dudes, right? And then this is going to be part of the wing mount, and we're working through that, and the ideas that come along with it. So let's go back over to this other car. Oh, man, you want to see something cool? Look at this. Oh, I love that bike. Where was I going? I don't know where I'm going. I'll just go back to where I was. Anyway, you can kind of get a feel for where we got, what's going on in here. Like I say, this isn't a commercial shop. This is me, boys. And if you think I got the chops, I'd like to give it a shot. Hit me up, drop a note, or give me a call. And, you know what I wanted to say more than anything? Regardless, and I'm going to take a deep breath for this, regardless of whether I get on the show or not, if anybody that's not affiliated with the show gets this far into the video, dude, seriously, if you've been thinking about fabrication and design and invention, you can do this. Just because you see like a shop like Dave's or a shop like mine, doesn't mean you can't do this. A lot of these things, all these tools really do is just make big projects shorter. It's just a nice luxury. It saves a little time, and it helps make bends bendier and welds weldier, but it's not necessary to do fabrication. And if you want to look like a hero, you got to get in the game, boys. And I think you can do it with, I've thought about this, I think you can get in for as little as the price of a welder, a grinder, and a hacksaw. I think you can begin basic fabrication as a family with that, and I'll tell you about it. I think what you do, and we did this with my kids, and I know this works. You go down to your local bicycle store, and I'll tell you why you want to do it with a bicycle, because it gets you in the game fast, boys. You coming in here, you go out, and you just get a big pile of old bicycles. You can get a truckload of bicycles at most places. I'm talking used stuff for like $50, $60. On your way back, head over to a store, get yourself a welder of some kind, get yourself a grinder, get yourself a hacksaw, and you bring those bicycle parts home. And you just look at them with the kids, and you lay them out, and the kids are looking at it going, that's a lot of stuff, and you were an idiot to buy all this stuff. And then you start laying it out, right? And then you got your tires over here, your frame over here, and you look at it and you go, son, what if we move these tires over to here? We stretch the frame out. And pretty soon you're cutting the top tube, and then you're cutting the bottom tube off, and you move the neck over. And you lay that neck back, right? You put some ape hangers on it, and you just weld more bar to the handlebars, and you weld it all together. Bam! In the course of 2 or 3 hours, you have made a chopper out of garbage. Technically, this is all throwaway bicycle parts. Next thing you know, your kid's driving around, he's going, my dad and I made this, and that should bring a tear to your eye. Think about how cool it is to make these kind of things and to have these kind of memories, and you can do this. I have done so many of those, and I think it gets people into fabrication quick. It gives you quick projects. I've never seen one of those take too long. Like, you can knock those things out relatively quickly. Most bicycle projects, if they're pretty low end, as a way to start into fabrication, development, design, invention. I'm telling you, man, it's the way to go. And I'm gonna check in on this video from time to time, see if you guys like that. And if you guys like that idea, maybe I'll knock a few of them out and I'll show you some of the ones that we built that were really cool. And see if you like them, and maybe I'll help you build them. So anyway, Dave and Kev Dog, and say hi to Will and all the boys. If you think that I'm any kind of a fit, give me a call. I can make about anything. Can I make what you need? I don't know, but I'd like to try. So thanks for watching, boys.